Hi, this is James Watson from YourInternetBuddies.com, and I wanted to record this video to share my thoughts about a question that I was asked recently, which is one that I hear from time to time, and I just thought that many of you may be asking or be thinking a similar question, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on the answer with you as well. Maybe that it will help you make your decision. The question that I was asked recently by a client, a coaching student of ours, was how soon can I leave my day job in order to pursue a full-time business marketing online? This person's currently working in a 9 to 5 job, and they're really keen to be able to leave that behind them and concentrate full-time on their online business, which they're really excited, passionate about. But so far, they're really at the beginning of their career, if you like, in the online world. And this is something that many of you may well find yourself in a similar situation. When recently at the 7-Figure Formula event, when I asked the audience how many people were currently in paid employment, and that was the vast majority of the room. And I asked them how many of them would like to leave that in order to pursue a business full time that was their own thing, then everybody put their hand up, and in fact more people put their hands up too. So this is obviously a very common aspiration. And if anybody really desires financial freedom, it's really obvious that being in a job, although it may give you some sort of steady income, which is fine up to a point, it's not going to give you the real financial freedom that you may be seeking. And running your own business is really the only way that you can make sure that that can happen, for a whole bunch of different reasons I won't go into now. But what I wanted to share with you is how quickly can you leave, or can you transition from a state of being employed to a situation where you're running your own business and you're making the kind of income that you need for the lifestyle that you want. Okay, and that's going to vary from person to person, but obviously it's going to need to be significant enough for you to be able to live on with all your living expenses, etc. So it's going to be a proper business. How soon can you do that, and when should you actually make the jump, if you are in paid employment, to leave that and to focus full-time on your business? Well, what I would say is that, and I really wouldn't advise any of you to jump from a job, to pack up your job and leave, if you haven't got something already bringing in some revenue already. Okay, if you haven't got some income coming from your online business, then I just frankly wouldn't advise you to leave a job. It doesn't make any sense. You know, particularly if you've got a job where you've got regular hours, maybe you're working 9 to 5, there's a lot of time outside of 9 to 5 that you could use to build an online business. I mean, both Daniel and I, this is how we started in our online careers. Daniel was working 2 jobs, and he would come home and he would still work on building his internet career, his internet business, working in his world headquarters, as he famously shares, which is his garden shed, but working, burning the midnight oil into the early hours of the morning every evening, because he was really passionate about wanting to achieve his online business. But he didn't give up his day job until he'd achieved some quite considerable results. He was fortunate enough to be able to continue doing both, and he was definitely determined enough to continue to do both. And it was a similar story for me. I too was I only left my paid enjoyment, the corporate world, literally about a year ago. It was October 2009. But I wasn't leaving with a standing start. I already by that stage, in partnership with Daniel, launched YourInternetBuddies.com, and we'd created a very successful launch for our first membership site together, and was bringing in a lot of money already. It was already a successful business. So I didn't rush to leave anything until that was in place, however, because I obviously wanted to have a degree of security that the income that would be coming in would able to cover your outgoings. And so what it did mean is, when I was able to leave, I was able to focus full-time on growing the business, and that was definitely reap the benefits. I didn't have any other commitments during the day to an existing job, etc. So that was definitely good, but the timing was crucial. So I really want to encourage you not to jump from your job until you've got some kind of asset, some sort of business that you can leverage. Now, ideally, there's going to be some revenue coming in to your business, actually making you money. Because once you've got some money coming in, it's a lot easier to multiply that, to get leverage from that. You may well also have some kind of list. However, if you built a list where if you had the time and you were able to focus on email marketing and joint venture marketing and affiliate marketing, you'd be able to leverage that list and increase your earnings because you could focus on it full time. Well, that's great, because if you've got those kind of assets, either products that you are selling that are making you money, or you've got a list that you can leverage as an affiliate or as for joint ventures, etc. If you've got those kind of assets, then it does make it a lot easier for you to leave your job, because you can work full-time on really maximizing the potential of those assets. And if that's the case, if that describes your situation, and you're willing to maybe to bridge a couple of months or however long it might take of income, maybe with savings or whatever, then great, go for it. And that's pretty much what I did. So that could work for you too. It really depends on the level of risk you're willing to take. But I mean, I want to tell you a story. I recently heard about a guy who almost kind of went from nothing to earning almost $10,000 in next to no time. And it is possible if you're willing to take action. Okay, if you're willing to really be focused on getting results, it is possible to make big leaps forward in your online business fast. This particular guy actually created a series of interviews with famous online marketers, asking them a question about what would they do if they lost everything in their business and they had to start again from scratch, and what would they do in the first 30 days of starting from scratch in their business once again, with everything they've now learned from the business they've been building. It's a really good question. It's a question that everybody loves to hear successful people's answers to, and there's often a lot of learning that you can take from it. And this guy, because he interviewed about eight or so famous marketers, and he put this product together with the interviews, he was able to actually leverage the fact that he'd interviewed these experts, and many of them started to promote the product for him. Okay, so he actually got an instant joint venture from the people that he interviewed, and he went on to earn, I think, close to $10,000 in next to no time as a result of these joint ventures of people promoting the product, this interview series, to their list. So this can happen in a short space of time, and once you've got those kind of connections and you start to build a list and you've got some revenue coming in, then yeah, by all means you can leave your job. But the point I'm trying to say is that you really don't want to jump ship in your job until you've got one of those assets, those two assets you can leverage, either products making you money or some kind of list that you've built through lead generation activity, whatever that may be. So I want to encourage you definitely to give everything you've got to your online business, with all the effort that you've got, with all the time that you've got available, even if you are working full-time, because it's the best business in the world to be in. There's no doubt about it. You can be your own boss. You can take time off when you want to. You can work when you want to. The people you meet are incredible. And what's more important, I think, is that if you give value back to your list, to the people who start to follow you, then you will be helping them create wealth as well. And I think that's one of the most important things about this business, is that the knowledge that you gain, you pass on to others in your products and in your content, and you help people grow their businesses in turn. People desperately need this information. They desperately out there, they're looking for other ways of income. They're looking for something that's a little bit more secure than just working in a job, and they're looking to be a little bit more masters of their own destiny. And the skills and the knowledge from internet marketing can help anybody in any situation. First of all, just add some additional income, and secondly, help that turn into a full-time business if they so choose. So it's the best business in the world to be in. So I'd strongly encourage you to focus on it and to be determined to succeed. But I'd also want to warn you that although it is possible to get success quickly, it's not the norm. It's more normal for it to take months, if not years, on your journey in order to learn the lessons, build the skills, build the contacts and the confidence that you need in order to go out there and actually get stuff done, get some products out there, start building a list, building joint venture partners, etc., etc. So I want to set your expectations that it's more likely to take you longer than shorter time, but don't let that discourage you. This is a journey Daniel and I have both been through, and we wouldn't have changed it for anything. I would just caution you that oftentimes the biggest problem I see with people is that they get frustrated. They're not able to go from zero to a massive amount in next to no time. There isn't really no magic bullet. There's nothing out there that will be the one solution that will literally take you from nothing to $100,000 business instantly. It doesn't really exist, and you really got to have the mindset that is for the long term, because this is a long-term asset that you're building, the skills that you have in internet marketing. So I really want to encourage you not to give up, to stay the course, because this is a journey well worth seeing through to the end. So I hope those few words have given you some encouragement, first of all, to continue with your online marketing career, to not give up too soon, to seek realistic rather than unrealistic goals, okay, to be realistic about them, but also to take action, because the rewards are out there if you are willing to learn the strategies that are successful, learn from successful people, and you're above all else, you're willing to take action, and you're not afraid of failure. Failure is just a stepping stone on the road to success. So if you have that mindset, you will make it, and you will be leaving your day job, and you will be running your own business, and you will be master of your own destiny. So that's it. I wish you all the best in your journey. This is James Watson from YouInternetBuddies.com, and I'll speak to you again soon.